It's Roth Benjamin, my ox, my brethren.
Yeah.
Praying without ceasing.
Nah, stop.
Mankind heart it freezing.
Let's go.
Lips of them say they not take no talk. What them a take forget some loving at them heart. Say they not take no talk. Them not no love in the heart. Them hear wisdom and frown upon it. Sinking sand they build them home upon it. Some think on them own the planet. Destruction them sit down on planet. Love it decrease and evil I go hard you know. Israelites miss and over say the Lord you know. You shine your Christ on your foot just and you God you know. Can't do you nothing. When the adversary pressure you no stress ya. No make the enemy get the best of ya. Clean from the mess of ya. Press ya. Don't forget the message of the letter ya. Stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Send them up, way up. Yeah. Fight the back until your eyes them shut. I see the enemy lurking at the cut. Stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Send them up, way up. Yeah. Fight the back until your eyes them shut. I see the enemy. No give no energy to negativity. Positive vibration are the key. No make it pull you down like gravity. No make it pull you down like gravity. When obstacles are not the way like a big stone, direct prayers to the man on the big throne. Give it to the Father and leave it alone, leave it alone. Don't render evil for evil. When the wicked persecute you season to season, hunt them a hunt. No give iniquity, no room in your heart. The blessing I go come and the blessing I go come. Get on your knees and pray for them. Hope the Father make a way for them. Hope He make a way for them. I hope they listen to the song when He play for them. Stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Send them up, way up. Yeah. Fight the back until your eyes them shut. I see the enemy lurking at the cut. Stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Send them up, way up. Yeah. Fight the back until your eyes them shut. I see the enemy.
Wickedness can't stand them. He don't wanna condemn them. Most High him reach out them hand them, but they don't care. I don't understand them. Wickedness can't stand them. He don't wanna condemn them. Most High him reach out them hand them, but them no care. I don't understand them. Palms to the sky, no lie, I send a prayer up. Sins to be cleared up, Most High hear us. Blood's crying out aloud, I know He tear up. World's full of wickedness, not be near us. Israel cheer up, demons they fear us. These are the end times, Christ He prepared us. His love is an honor, that wouldn't change up. With the whole armor, we got to stay prayed up.
Stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Send them up, way up. Yeah. Fight the back until your eyes them shut. I see the enemy lurking at the cut. Stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Send them up, way up. Yeah. Fight the back until your eyes them shut. I see the enemy.
This is the Born of Levi experience on G.O.C.C. Media.
Yes. Shalom, peace and blessings. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the Born of Levi experience here on G.O.C.C. Media. I am your host, Deacon Hazak. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Sorry for the tardiness again, but listen, the devil know what he's doing when he's trying to interrupt you. Okay, I'm just leave it like that. All right. So much things happening. I'm trying to get home from work. I'm getting wrapped up in a conversation with a Chemite. Yes, someone who believes in Kemet and Egypt and all of that. And matter of fact, you know what? What's great? I'm gonna talk about that real quick too. But before I do that, before I go off on a tangent, if I'm coming in nice and clear, brothers and sisters, please put a qualm in the chat. And the music that you guys heard, that was from Sharaf Benjamin. Stay prayed up, streaming on all major platforms. So that was Sharaf Benjamin featuring M. Dot. Shout out to my brother Sharaf, the Benjamite. Right, I definitely wanted to start the show with that song to stay prayed up, because listen, we gonna need it. We definitely gonna need it. But yeah, man, like I was saying, man, welcome back to the show. But yeah, as I'm trying to leave work, I don't know how this happened. I just get paired up with this guy on the way back to the depot, and we just talking, and you know, he tries to interject and brings his philosophy, and that's what I call what they believe in is philosophy. Thank you guys for putting the qualms in the chat. I appreciate it. So that means I'm coming in nice and clear. Last week I knew I was coming in a little low, but hopefully this fixed the issue. If it's not, just let me know and I'll try to fix it throughout the show. But yeah, what they believe in is philosophy, because at the end of the day, they're all philosophizing and they all are reading from a book, and they condemn us from reading from a book. I don't understand the I just don't understand the logic. Y'all telling us Bible believers our book is written by a man, but your whole philosophy and what you believe was also written by a man. But the difference between the men that wrote our book, right, compared to the books that y'all wrote, or that y'all reading, our books was written by holy men set apart, chosen from the Most High, or endowed with the Holy Spirit, and to bring forth the spirit of prophecy. None of y'all books bring forth any prophecy. So long story short, talking to this man, and this is how you dispel what they like to bring forth in a nutshell. They like to say that our book is man-made, written by a man, right? First, he started off by saying, yeah, he said, yeah, no, because let me take my time. So I quoted the scripture in Jeremiah, I believe 17:4, where it says, our people is destroyed for lack of knowledge, because we was talking about the conditions of our people in the neighborhood, right? And he says, yeah, I like how you quoted that scripture, and that book was plagiarized, and he just tried to slip it in real quick. And I said, whoa, you ain't gonna just speed past that. So he said, so I asked him, okay, but and mind you, it was a peaceful dialogue. There was no yelling, no screaming, because we're in a place of work. So it was no, you understand? And I try not to get into religious debates or conversations at work, because listen, I'm there for one thing, and that's just to work, whatever the case is. And if the Most High allows me to be a light there, then that's what I'm gonna do, right? So he tries to say that the book was plagiarized, and I said, okay, you saying it's plagiarized? Please tell me, what book did the Bible, did they use to plagiarize from the Bible? And he's just sitting there with a smile. He said, I'm gonna tell you, brothers and sisters. He never told me. About 45 minutes talking to this man, he never told me what book that the Hebrews used to plagiarize the Bible, right? Then, he's just talking, and they do a lot of philosophizing and use a lot of big words to make it sound like what they're saying is believable. But you can never don't ever let that trump you. Don't ever let that make you feel like, oh, he may have a point, because he's using words like thesis and what? You don't gotta, you don't get scared with those words, right? So at the end of whatever he's saying, I asked him. I painted the picture like this for him. I was like, who are those people right now in Israel? And he said, who are you talking about? I said, the people who are in Israel right now, who are they? And he said, oh yeah, our brothers. Well, I'm saying that, but he didn't say that. He said, yeah, the European Jews, right? Jewish people. I was like, okay. And I said, so there's two factions of people right now that's fighting over a land. And he said, and then he finished it for me. He said, right, that's not even theirs, because they're imposters. So you understand that they're imposters. If there are imposters, that means that there's a people that they're impersonating, which you don't believe are real people, because you don't believe the Bible is real. But you could see the holes in their understanding, because what? So he said, yeah, they're over there. And I said, right, there's two factions of people that's fighting over land that was promised to a certain person, which was, he said, you talking about Abraham? I was like, yes, of course. I was like, so he's like, do you agree with that? He's like, yeah, that land is for a particular people, but he's still not trying to say they're Israelites, whatever the case is. And I said, okay, so we both can agree that there's two groups of people the Jewish or the Israelis and the Palestinian state that are both warring over a land that the Bible says was prophesied to be promised or given to a people? He said yes. And I said, okay, so for a very fictitious book, for a book that you're saying is plagiarized, for a book that you're saying is written by a mere man, there's a group of people over there who believe that they're those people in those books. And politically, they're protected because the world is is recognizing them right now as the people of the book. So now you tell me right now, there's whole wars right now happening in the Middle East for a fictitious book. And he just looked at me and then tried to change the subject into something else. But I was like, I already know I got you, but he's going to go home and think about that and try to process it and come back probably tomorrow. Hopefully I'm going to try to duck him because I don't, unless the Most High make me run into him again, you know what I mean? Then, you know, it is what it is. I got caught up with that and other things, but, you know, praise the Most High. I am here, right? We give all praises be to the Most High. Oh, no, that wrong sound. All praises be to the Most High. The great I am that I am. Ahaya Asho, Ahaya Bashin, Yeshaya Wakadash. And brothers and sisters, I gotta shout this out too. You see the shirt that I'm wearing right now? Let me show y'all this. Right? Look at that. The Hebrew flag of truth. I know y'all seen me put this up on during the vlog. This was gifted to me by brother Asher and his son Ronald. They gifted this shirt to me, and I promised to wear it on the broadcast because, like, this shirt is really dope. Like, I really like this shirt. I really appreciate it. So, you know, I'm repping my shirt. My man, brother Asher, shout out to you if you're watching, right? Comment in the chat so I can know who you are, whatever the case is, and, you know, praise the Most High for that. But you guys see the title of today's conversation. 5-year plan in Babylon. Can you set a 5-year plan living in Babylon? I'm talking about right now because, I mean, back in the days we was able to do stuff like that. But can we still set a 5-year plan living here in Babylon? And this conversation also is not just for the older people, but also for the younger generation too, because a lot of you younger people, you should have a 5-year plan. But now my job here is to direct your focus as to what your 5-year plan should look like, right? But what is a 5-year plan? We got to talk about it. And the reason why I want to have this conversation is because like you guys can see it. I can see it. As soon as the pagan ball has dropped and we've entered the so-called year of 2024, I mean, it's been event after event after shocking news and revealings, right? One after the other. So much things is happening, and we're not even we're not even halfway through the year yet, right? We're in according to their calendar, we're in the 4th month, so that we still have time left in this so-called year of 2024. And there's so much things that's been happening that's showing like, yo, is this being orchestrated? Are they trying to send a sign? And brothers and sisters, please, as you come in, hit that like button on your way in, right? And I'm gonna talk about some of these things. I'm gonna even highlight some of these events. Right now, like I said, we are in the year 2024, and it's crazy every time I think about this, how we're 4 years in from 2020. I don't know if you guys remember that. I don't know if you guys even remember what was taking place during 2020. To me, it still seems like a blur. It still seems like it's a blur, right? But nonetheless, it came, it went, and 4 years later, we're here. But, that was 4 years ago. I'm also going to show a video showing the WHO, the WHO, or the World Health Organization, or the what else they call themselves? The WEF, the World Economic Forum, right? So I'm gonna show a video from them and for what their projections, or I should say prediction, is for the year 2030. So as of right now, if to be politically correct, we have 6 years to 2030. But that's why I ask, is it even possible to have a 5-year plan living in Babylon, understanding what their predictions are for the year 2030? And I'm going to show the video. We're going to talk about it. And I just want you guys to just keep stuff in mind. And it's like the conversation that we had last week, that the kingdom is the prize. The kingdom is the focus. No matter what they're doing out there. I mean, it does matter to a certain extent, because Christ told us that we must watch, therefore, and pray. So you must be doing two things. You must be watching and praying. Shame on you if you're not watching. There's some people who say, I don't watch the news. And if this is you, don't take any offense to this. Okay? But there's some people out there who say, I don't watch the news. How are you watching? What are you watching? Right? And not to say that the news is all factual, because it's a stage, and how Elder pointed it out, and how he painted it during this past Shabbat's lesson, is that media is Satan's mouthpiece. Media is how he speaks to the world. So we can't dwell too much on it, or we can't focus too much on it, but you must focus. You must watch and see what's going on, right? So watching what's happening on this earth and still trying to live a life. Some people would say, what is the point? What is the point of even going to get a job? What is the point of even going to get an education? I'm talking about for those who are in the know. If you fell upon this information and the Most High has waken you up, and now you have a clue of who you are, it kind of brings you, it kind of snaps you into reality, like, okay, all of this doesn't matter, but yet I still have to go through these things. I still have to live. But at the same time, I have to focus on the prize, which is the kingdom. And living in this world, or growing up, I don't know about for all of you guys. For me, it was always taught, when you're dealing with economics, or you're dealing with your professional side of life, or professional future, you are always told you must have a 5-year plan. Some people to this day still don't even know what a 5-year plan is. What that even look like. So I took the opportunity to do this with you guys. I'm going to show you. I'm going to use this website. I'm using it's masterclass.com, right? And they drew out 5-year goals, how to create a 5-year plan, right? I just want to go through this just to show what does a typical 5-year plan sound like for someone who's looking to advance themselves professionally, trying to grow. You're trying to obtain certain accolades in this life, but it's also good to have a 5-year plan for your personal life. You have to set goals for yourself, because if you don't set any goals, you will be stagnant. And there's no way any of us will inherit a kingdom being stagnant. That's why Christ said, don't be y'all steady looking for the kingdom to come. Like you just sitting here looking for the kingdom to come to you, when the kingdom is in you. So that's telling me that I gotta bring forth this kingdom. You have to bring forth this kingdom. There's something that we must do as kingdom people to bring it forth. And before I go here, I'm going to say this again, right? We must bring it forth. When you look at any established nation on this earth, any established country, if they have a formed nation, to have a formed nation, one must have what? A government. You must have laws to run this government. You must also have an army to protect that government or to protect that country. And you must also have what? Finances to run the country. These three things is what you call a solid nation. A nation with laws, a standing army, and wealth. Right? These are the three main things you need to run a nation, to run a country, to run a kingdom. Because these countries, modern day countries or nations, are the same thing as kingdoms from the past. They just changed it to nations and countries, but they're kingdoms. Okay? So you need these three things to run a kingdom. Christ told us that what? The kingdom come not by observation. So if the kingdom comes not by observation, and we're the kingdom, that means we must provide these three things for our nation, for our kingdom. The army part, we're not going to worry about that. That Christ is going to handle that when he returns. Christ is bringing the army, so we don't got to worry about that. All right, we got that. We could just check the box off when it comes to a standing army. Christ got that. Right? We may not have the wealth right now, but Christ is also going to bring that. Matter of fact, in the kingdom, the nations will bring that. But that's not stopping us from working right now as well too. But right now, what we have to focus on is the laws. We have laws that governs our nation, that governs our kingdom, right? So just want to paint that out there. So if you don't have any of those things, you don't have a running functional government, right? So now let's go back to this 5-year plan. So it says 5-year goals. How to create a 5-year plan? It says make a 5-year plan. Oh, sorry. I hope you got. Let me enlarge it a little bit. Can I enlarge it? I can. Okay, good. It says making a 5-year plan is one of the most effective ways to move forward in life. You see that? To move forward in life. If you're not moving forward, you're standing still. Christ also have a problem with people who stand still. Matter of fact, we're going to read that too. I'm going to show y'all. You cannot be stagnant, because what are you bringing for him? It says making a 5-year plan is one of the most effective ways to move forward in life, both personally and professionally. So you don't have to look at it on a professional scale. You could just set a 5-year goal for your personal life. It says learn how to brainstorm and set a long-term plan. So now that's another question. Can we even create a long-term plan living here in Babylon? I mean, I'm gonna let you guys answer that question. Let's go here. It says how to make a 5-year plan. It says a 5-year plan is a roadmap that includes specific goals for personal or professional betterment. See, betterment. You always want to do better. And like I said in the truth, you can't be the same person you was last year in the truth this year. It's like every year, every marker, which is a feast day or even a Sabbath, you should be getting better. You should be becoming that new creature every day. Because matter of fact, when you got baptized, you are a new creature. But you're learning more and more every day, right? You're not the same person. It says follow these steps to develop a 5-year plan. So let's look at some of these steps. It says list your values. That's okay to do, right? In terms of personal fulfillment, it is crucial to have a sense of your personal values. A personal value is a worthwhile idea, or behavior that guides short-term decisions. That sounds like almost being like temperate to me. short-term decisions, right? Does this work for me? Does not work for me? What's the consequences if I do this? What's the feedback if I don't do this? Like, right? 2, it says consider your career. Now, some people might say, should I even go into a career understanding that Babylon is fallen? I mean, you could still get a job. Like, getting a job, you can consider that your career. And we can't, that's another thing too. We can't, we shouldn't hold ourselves to the standards that was set by the oppressors, right? They say you need certain accolades or certain, things on your resume to say that you are a successful person. You must be making this amount of money per year to say that you're successful. You must have this amount of degrees. No. Success is someone who has an ideal, and they go forth and pursue that idea and bring it to life and accomplishes it. That's someone who's a success. Okay? Someone who trained their whole life or who went to school their whole life and said, you know what? At the end of my degree, I'm going to be a school teacher. And if you become a school teacher, you are a success. Someone who says, I want to be the greatest rapper alive, and they accomplish that, that person is a success. Someone who says, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, and I want to raise my children, and I want to make sure my household is perfect for my family and my husband. That woman is a success. So success is not labeled by the standards of this world. The success are actually measured by the standard of that person. But I'm going to put this out there too. You can't just be a bum and saying, yeah, I'm a success. I said I wanted to be a bum. No one plans to be a bum. I just want to put that out there. All right. So success is someone who has an ideal or an idea, and they go after that idea and make it and bring it to life and accomplishes it. That is a success, right? It says consider a career, right? Many 5-year plans will focus on career goals, right? What else they say? Another step to do is think about your personal life, right? 5-year plans can go beyond the workplace. You see, so it's not just a professional type of mindset to create a 5-year plan as far as, okay, I want to start this job and by year 3, I want to be promoted. No, it says it goes beyond the workplace, right? Personal goals may involve relationships with friends, families, and partners, as well as personal goals for your health. So your own personal goals, living space. If you want to probably have your own apartment one day, or you want to buy a house, or you're trying to buy land. Living space, finances, and recreation, right? What else? Set your goals. And that's another thing too. You have to set goals for yourself, right? It says create a goal, plan, template, and a running list of objectives when setting goals. Continue to refine, revise, and solidify the measurable goals you're pursuing. So you must challenge yourself, right? It says, also, make an action plan. What does that consist of? Making an action plan is research the necessary steps to reach your goal. So you want to become a master builder, right? You must go and do the research to see, okay, what are the steps for me to learn how to build? Doing the research. And this is why, and this is a good tool to use along with what's called faith, right? Faith is something that we use to say, I believe that I will receive this. But the question is, what are you doing along with that faith to receive what you believe that you're going to accomplish? If you believe that you're going to become a six-figure earner, What are you doing to earn that six figures? You can't just be sitting on your lap. And the 5 year and these, like, just looking at these looking at this list or these steps is all fitting for someone who's chasing a kingdom. Because all you got to do is take these same steps and apply it to the kingdom. What else? It says set annual goals if you need it. It says the central units of your five. Let me mute this. The central units of your 5-year plan should be a 12-month increments. Ideally, each year or of your 5-year plan will have objectives that build towards your ultimate goal, right? Breaking goals down in milestones. Setting short-term goals with timelines of a week or a month can help you stay on task. So you should be saying from week to week, all right, this week I want to accomplish this. This month I'm focusing on this until you accomplish it. Sometimes we tend to start projects, and I'm guilty of this too, right? We start a project and don't see it through and not finish it. So that's something that would help in your 5-year plan, right? Breaking down goals and breaking goals down into milestones. So from point A to point B, I'm gonna be doing this and be doing this and be doing that, right? So we see here that this is very detailed as far as how to set up a 5-year plan. Hold on, let me show you this too as well. It even goes into what is the benefits of a 5-year plan. Look, a 5-year plan is an excellent way to shift your life in a desirable direction, because now you're actually living with purpose. You're actually living with a purpose. You're actually living to fulfill or to accomplish something, right? There's people out there who say, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what my gifts are in this body. What are you doing to bring those gifts forth? Are you just sitting down not doing anything, or are you actively working? It says a 5-year plan is an excellent way to shift your life in a desirable direction. Below are some benefits of using this tool. So now let's look at some of the benefits of actually structuring your life to have goals. 5-year plans. Clarity. Look at this. Clarity. You can think better. It says when you write down your 5-year plan, you translate abstract desires into real world achievable goals. And that's why I think I mentioned this before. You always want to write down what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. Write it down and see it through. It says control. Clarity, control. I like this. I want to write this down. You get clarity, control. This is nice, right? It says control. Knowing your goals and having a clear plan for achieving them can significantly reduce your overall stress levels by reducing uncertainty, right? You may feel more in control. It says motivation. Breaking your goals down into achievement milestones and will boost your motivation. Organization. A tangible benefit of having a 5-year plan is organization. Setting long-term goals is an excellent way to organize your time. So these are the benefits, right? I like these benefits. Clarity, control, motivation, and organization. To me, it sounds like someone who's busy. This sounds like someone who's focused. Now the question is, where is your focus? Because you can have those same passions and goals and the clarity, the motivation, the organization. You could do it for Babylon's sake. But what about for the Most High? What about for the kingdom to come? What about for what they're preparing for us down the line? And being young and not really knowing what's next, it could be scary. It could be nerve-wracking because you don't know what to expect. It could be stressful. I should say, use the word stressful, because a lot of younger people are still trying to find their way. But Babylon, or this world, have taught us how to create 5-year plans to benefit Babylon. What about having a 5-year plan to benefit the kingdom? Have we thought about that? Because I'm going to show y'all the elites, they create 5-year plans too, to benefit and to protect their assets. So now the question is, what are we doing as children of the Most High, born again, baptized, waiting for Christ to return with the army, right? What are we doing to preserve our assets, which is our brothers and sisters, this kingdom, right? What are we doing in that aspect? What does our 5-year goal consist of for us? Why am I saying that? Look at this. Let me play that. I'm gonna play this first video, and I want us to break it down together.
Latest symbol down.
No, stop talking. Let me get this for you. I'm sorry. Let me show you this video. I need some water. Let me show you this video. No, not you. All right. Let me show you this video. To show you, wait, why is it showing? I'm sorry. 1 second, y'all. All right, here it is. Let me show you this video as to why I asked that question. What are we doing to protect our assets? And we understand what the Most High called us for. Christ called us to go ye therefore, and to preach the gospel, right, of the kingdom to everyone, right? Baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, right? And then teaching them to observe to do all things. In the midst of that, that's our job, right? But in the midst of that, there's other things that comes along with that, right? So what are we doing to protect ourselves from what they trying to bring forth? Let me show you this real quick. So this was from the World Economic Forum. Okay, this was from the World Economic Forum, and it says here 8 predictions for the world in 2030, and that's 6 years from now. So that extra that 1 year that we got is a grace, but we have 5 years to like let's just say theoretically, right? There's 6 years. I wouldn't, because we're already into this 2024 year, but let me just keep the numbers. We have 6 years to prepare for what this so-called prediction is. Not to say that these predictions are true. I don't know. This is what they put out on their platform, so I don't know. They're calling it a prediction. Is it just a prediction? But this is out here, right? 8 predictions for the world in 2030. And this is what they put out there. So if we're in 2024, that means that gives me 6 years to set a 5-year plan while living here in Babylon. So let's take a look at this real quick. And we're gonna read it together, right? This video is only a minute 32, so we're gonna go through the whole minute 32 of it, right? It says 8 predictions for the world in 2030. It says you will own. Hold on. We can't speed past that. We can't speed past that. What's going on? Okay, it says you will own nothing and you will be happy. I wanna read the thing that's in the bottom. I want this thing to go away from the screen. It says, I'm gonna try to read it. It says, I don't know if you guys could see it on your screen, but I'm gonna read it. It says, based on this is based on the input of members of the World Economic Forum's global future councils. So this came out of their minds. And for some reason, the World Economic Forum or the WHO, whatever you want to call these people, they have a lot of say on how our lives are being ran. So these people are very important for some reason. I don't know. But this came from their mind. And it's something that came from their mind is you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. How does that even make sense? Let's take a look at this. Whatever you want, you'll rent. It says, whatever you want, you'll rent, and it'll be delivered by drone. This is their prediction for the year 2030. I don't know what kind of world this is. It says the U.S. won't be, what do they know? It says the U.S. won't be the world's leading superpower. Are we seeing the, and I don't know. We see what's happening. They just open up the borders. Years ago, they would have never done something like this. Just open up the borders for just random people to just come through. And it's not just our brothers from Venezuela coming through. I've seen a video where the majority of the people that was coming through was Chinese people. And you had some Arabs coming through as well too. But they're painting it as if it's just, the Northern Kingdom that's coming through. Is it really? Are we seeing the dismantling of this system? I don't know. Some would, I would think, it makes me wonder because it says here, and this like I said, or not like I said, but like they said, this came out of the minds of the members of the World Economic Forum. And they said the U.S. won't be the world's leading superpower. So where would power go back to? Sounds like prophecy to me. I don't know. It says a handful of countries will dominate. The EU, maybe? Giving it back to the one with the deadly wound that was healed. I don't know. Maybe. A handful of countries will dominate. You won't. This is crazy. You won't die waiting for an organ donor. Why? We won't transplant organs. We'll print new ones instead. They're gonna print new organs, y'all. I need to buy that printer. It says you'll eat much less meat. How are they predicting this? An occasional treat. It says an occasional treat, not a staple, for the good of the environment and our health. So you'll get you won't eat too. You'll eat less meat, but you'll get an occasional treat. Sounds like a caged animal to me, right? A billion people will be displaced by climate change. How can you predict this? Somebody please tell me, how can you predict something like this? We're 6 years away from that, but I think this came out 2021, I believe, or even before that. So a whole 10 years they had this in the works. But it says a billion people will be displaced by climate change. It says we'll have to do a better job at welcoming and integrating refugees. So hold up. We're already seeing half of this already take place. Not half, but we're seeing some of this take place. We're already welcoming refugees. So this part of their plan is already in, or prediction, I should say, is already in fruition. It says polluters will have to pay to emit carbon dioxide. So I guess we're also polluters too, because we drive vehicles that emit emissions. So are they telling us that we'll be heavily taxed to drive around? Because we're polluters. We don't ride around in horses unless you want to ride a bike all year round. You drive a car. Polluters will have to pay to emit carbon dioxide. There will be a global price on carbon. So that's one standard price for carbon emissions, oil, gas, and all that stuff like that, right? This will help make fossil fuels history. But what? All right, well, I'll think about that one more. I don't really know too much about this one. It says you could be preparing to go to Mars. Okay, now they're going crazy. now they're just going crazy. You could be preparing to go to Mars. This is a prediction that they're saying, I guess. Scientists will have worked out how to keep you healthy in space, the start of a journey to find alien life. Like, why are they talking about that for? Why is that a prediction for 2030? Alien life. I don't know. Western values will have been tested to the breaking point. Western values. I wonder what they could be talking about with this. Huh? What y'all think? Somebody put it in the chat. Let me see, because y'all be mad smart too. Western values will have been tested to the breaking point. The Western values right now is somebody said get chipped up. That could be getting tested to the breaking point. See how many of you would break under that pressure. That's a Western value, but that's more like a world thing. We won't be able to live on Mars because it doesn't exist, right? Of course. All right, let's continue. Checks and balances that underpin democracies must not be forgotten. Okay. What else you got here for us? Like, comment, and share. So this is what they said, but let's not forget how they started off this thing. Let's not forget how they started off this thing. You will own nothing, and you'll be happy. Doesn't that sound crazy? Don't that sound crazy? Don't that sound crazy? Like, am I the only one that feels like that sounds crazy? It says you will own nothing, but you'll be happy that you own nothing. So are they even saying that we won't even own our own lives? Like what are they trying to say? And speaking of that, chipped up, I seen this video earlier. I gotta show this too. I have to show this. It should be in my history. Where is it at? Real quick. Okay, here it is. Let me show you guys this. Let me show you guys this this short right here. Can I even play it back? I could play it back. All right, take a look at this, y'all. And Klaus Schwab, right?
But
This guy right here.
can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains?
You already said, can you imagine 10 years from now when we're sitting here, we'll have an implant in our brains? And this was in 2020. 10 years from 2020 is what? 2030? Their predictions for 2030, you will own nothing but be happy. So let me play it back. Sorry. Here it goes.
But
Here it goes.
But can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants, and we measure your brain waves, and I can immediately tell you how the people react, or I can feel how the people react to your answers. Is it imaginable? But
Is it imaginable?
can you imagine?
So we already see what team he's playing for. He's playing for Satan straight out. He said, "Can you imagine if we all have chips in our brains 10 years from now?" And he said, and you'll all have it. It's like a guarantee, because if you're there sitting with them, you want to play ball with them, so you're gonna have to have the chip in your brain. It's a crazy future what these people are trying to draw up for us. Sorry. Not just that. So he said, they said we will own nothing and will be happy. That's really interesting. Let's take a look at this video too. And another man that goes by Bill Gates, the fifth level of hell. It says Bill Gates now owns the most farmland in America. And didn't they say in that video we just watched that we're gonna eat less meat? So I guess they want us to, eat from his farm. I'm not doing that. So
acres of farmland across the
hold on, play back.
Bill Gates has been snatching up 242,000 acres of farmland across the U.S., enough to make him the top private farmland owner in America. According to the Land Report, the tech billionaire has been purchasing agricultural land for years, building a massive portfolio of farmland in 18 states. His largest holdings are more than 69,000 acres in Louisiana, almost 48,000 acres in Arkansas, and about 20,500 acres in Nebraska. Additionally, he has a stake in 25,750 acres of traditional land in Phoenix, Arizona, which is being developed as a new suburb. It's not clear how Gates' farmland is being used or whether any of the land is being set aside for conservation. This is not Gates' only foray into agriculture. In 2008, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation announced $306 million in grants to promote high-yield, sustainable agriculture among farmers.
Now the question is, why is this man into agriculture? Why is he into farming? This is the same man who was pushing the juice. I mean, is he trying to find a new way to administer the juice through the food? I don't know.
Farmers in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia. The foundation also invested in the development of supercrops resistant to climate change and higher-yield dairy cows. While Gates may be the country's biggest farmland owner, he's not the largest individual landowner. According to the Land Report's list of the top 100 American landowners, Liberty Media chair John Malone is the largest landowner with 2.2 million acres of ranches and forests. Who is this?
I don't even know who these people are. But I know they ain't good. They ain't for our turn. I can tell you that much. They ain't for our turn. So here it is. Come 2030, you will own nothing but you'll be happy. And this man is buying up all of the farmland. Why? What are we doing? Not just that. And remember I told y'all, right? That remember I told you guys that they plan ahead too. And this is why I said we need to start looking to planning ahead. But is it possible to have a 5-year professional 5-year plan living here in Babylon, or should we be more so or should we build more of a conservational, right, 5-year plan? We could build a professional 5-year plan, but what about a conservational, where we're trying to conserve what we have, conserve who we love, protect what we have, and protect who we love? Because they're planning something that's super diabolical. It's diabolical to the I can't even tell you how many percent. It probably doesn't even hold that number. But they're planning. So what about us? We the kingdom. Shouldn't we have a conservational plan, a plan to conserve us? But let me play this video. Look at this. As if they know something is coming. Let me show you this one. Because they know something is coming. So they're planning ahead. So I want you guys to take a look at this. Take a look at this video right here. And this is a video that, most of y'all already know about this already. It says billionaires are building bunkers. Do they know something we don't? I mean, we're counting down to 2030. We just seen some of their predictions. But the major one to me, the couple of major ones to me in that prediction, you'll own nothing and be happy, and you're going to eat less meat. Like, what? And those who emit carbon dioxide will be charged extra. Right? So now let's take a look at this. Fair use, right? We're just using this for educational purposes.
Now, billionaires have many obsessions. Supercars, ice baths, exotic animals, you name it, and billionaires usually have it. But of late, they seem to have a new obsession. Bunkers. The top 1% are building bunkers. Mark Zuckerberg is constructing one in Hawaii, and it's worth $270 million. $270 million. It's almost
$270 million? For you to put up that kind of money for a bunker, right? As a, just to be safe from, probably nuclear fallouts, right? Maybe an insurrection, you want to just be safe. You want to, board up your windows, whatever the case is. But this man went and spent $270 million. And if he's able to spend that, that means he has way more than that in his disposal. Billions he has. What's $270 million? Right? To us, that's a lot of money, but to them, that's nothing. All right, I'll spend that. But $270 million on a doomsday bunker? What do they know is coming between now and 2030 or whatever? Maybe before then. What do they know is coming that they have to do stuff like this? But
almost like a status symbol now. But why do the super rich need bunkers?
Yeah.
Are they trying to survive a war?
Right.
Maybe another pandemic? Or an apocalypse?
Oh.
Do they know something that we do not? Our next report tells you.
Blast-resistant doors, equipped with its own food and energy supplies. This is a 5,000 square foot shelter located underground in Hawaii. The price tag of the project is $270 million. If you want to survive an apocalypse, this is the place to be. Who does this belong to? Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. The billionaire is building a bunker, and he isn't the only one. Former PayPal CEO Peter Thiel tried to build one in New Zealand. Bill Gates has plenty of underground security areas, apparently one under each of his homes.
Wow.
Of course, these are the higher end ones, but you could get yourself...
Wow. And you see how sneaky and conniving that is? You're doing all of this to the world, but yet in each of your properties you have a doomsday bunker. Like, yo, these guys are crazy, man.
A basic one for $500,000. It's almost like buying an expensive car. And for
Buying an I'm not spending $500,000 on a car. Even honestly, even if I had it, that doesn't mean that doesn't even make any sense. Why would I spend $500,000 on a car? I mean, it's a toy. Some people homes don't even cost that much. But they said that you can buy a bunker for the low end. They said, you heard that? The low end of $500,000. Okay.
billionaires, it's a good way to use some loose change. But where are they building them? Apparently all over the world. But a popular choice seems to be New Zealand. It's attributed to its secluded location, which brings us to the boom in the companies building these survival shelters. Some of them are just basic shelters. They are underground, they have all the essentials, you can survive there for a few weeks. But a handful of them go a step
this
further,
crazy.
like this one project
Look
that
at this.
includes an island fortress. This is not just a bunker. The entire island is like a fort with an inflammable moat.
What?
Basically, if you try to step foot on the island, it will burn down. But you will be perfectly safe inside the underground bunker. Sounds perfect.
Wait. Who are you hiding from? What? You gonna tell me you're gonna build an island with a bunker in it, and if someone steps foot on the island, it catches on fire? What could you have possibly done to someone to anger them to the point where they want to come after you, and you have to have the island explode or burn itself so that way no one could get on the island? You've done something to somebody. You made somebody extremely mad. If you gotta create that, you did something. Now the question is, what did you do? What did you do? Yo, it doesn't make any sense. Why does someone need that?
Perfect for a zombie apocalypse. But why are the super rich building bunkers? What are they so scared of? In the last 5 years, the world has survived a lot. A global pandemic, 2 wars, climate change. Some of these bunkers have registered nurses, a collection of drugs, decontamination booths, medical supplies. One even has a full-fledged operating table. Basically, you can survive anything in there. It's almost
You
like
can survive anything in there? Okay, I guess.
modern-day Noah's Ark. If you are in the bunker, you are likely to survive almost all catastrophes. But it's not for everyone. It's only for the chosen few. And here, Noah is not making the choice. The world's super rich are making it for themselves. But beneath all these underground bunkers lies a dark truth. It's that death is truly the great equalizer. And the super rich, just like us, fear it too. They cannot buy their way out of it.
Nope.
Even with these underground bunkers and fortresses. But that hasn't stopped them from...
And I like how he put that. He said death is the equalizer for everyone, for the rich and the poor. Solomon said that in the book of Ecclesiastes. He says, I've watched it. He said another thing that he noticed. He said another thing that he noticed on this earth, under the sun. As the rich man dies, so does the poor man dies. As the wise man dies, so does the fool. All die after the same death. So you're not really escaping anything. I mean, they just have the money to build, what they're trying to build, but you're not escaping death. Because guess what? When you do die, you still gonna face a judgment. So what are you really escaping? And the thing is, it's sad because, well, for them it's sad because they really don't have that. This is what goes to show you that they don't have no hope in anything else. This existence is all they got. Like, so they want to preserve what they have. You see, with us, it doesn't matter. It don't really matter because we understand where our treasures are. We understand where we're going and what we will receive because of it. And these people are really showing how carnal they really are, right? Was there something else I wanted to show you guys? Hold on, let me check. I think there was something else I wanted to show you guys. Let's see. Oh, maybe I could show you this, right? Y'all already know this. I think I played some of the other videos too premature, but I'm going to show you this one. This video right here. Y'all remember this, right? There's no sound on this video, but y'all remember this happening. This happened, what was it? Is it 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago? Or last week? I think it was last week. See that? The collapse of the bridge. Right? And this thing had way more effects than what we may have thought. So we got the collapse of the bridge. We got them telling us the predictions for 2030. We got the super rich building these doomsday bunkers. And here we are. We're like, what are we doing? Right? And this is why I said, what is our 5-year plan? Yeah, you could have a 5-year, and like I said, matter of fact, let me read it to y'all. The reason why I'm saying that you should even have a 5-year plan for your own personal life. Because like we read earlier, let me go back to that screen, and I'm gonna read this. I want to read a scripture. I want to go back to this screen real quick. And everybody who's coming in, thank you guys for coming in. Please also hit that like button on your way in if you can. Look at this. We was talking about the 5-year plan, right? We was talking about what are the benefits of having a 5-year plan, right? The benefits of having a 5-year plan basically keeps you busy. And there's a reason why I'm using that word, busy, right? You're not remaining stagnant. You're not just sitting down twiddling your thumbs. Keep that in mind, right? It says the benefit of having a 5-year plan, right? It promotes clarity, control, motivation. You're motivating. You're motivated to keep going. Remember, the scripture tells us the race is not to the what? The swift, right? So you day by day you keep going. You have organization, right? You know how to organize. That sounds like someone who's in charge of their surrounding, of their being, that have leadership skills, that have leadership qualities, right? Because that's what Christ is looking for. He's basically looking for leaders, because when he returns, he's going to be promoting those who have leadership qualities, those who can show control, clarity, who's motivated, those who have organizational skills. I'm going to prove that. Look, let's prove that. Let's go to the Bible now. I'm going to go to the book of Luke. I believe it's 19. Let's go to the book of Luke. I'm gonna put it up on the screen for you guys as well too, so you guys can read along with me. Yeah, that's Luke 19. So now, two things I want to point out in this chapter. This is a good read because I was reading this earlier, right? Reading. So I'm in Luke 19. Luke 19:1. So I want you guys to pay attention to this and understand. I just want you to understand Christ. Understand his mindset, understand his mission, how every time he went somewhere, people wanted to see him, people wanted to talk to him, people were criticizing the things that he was doing, not really understanding why he was doing what he was doing, but it all made sense to him. And for the greater picture of what he's coming to bring forth, we all understand that Christ was sent to bring forth a kingdom. That's the reason why we're all here. We don't want nothing to do with this kingdom that we're living in. We want nothing to do with this world. And we want everything to do with the world to come. And the world to come is a kingdom. And like I said in the beginning of the broadcast, a kingdom, you cannot have a kingdom without these three things: law, an army, and finances, right? So now, Luke 19:1. And I know a lot of you read this story before. And if you haven't, let's read it together. It says Luke 19:1. It says, and I know it says Jesus there on the screen, but for those of you guys who don't know that Christ's name is not Jesus, his name is Yeshua, or Savior in the Hebrew, but I'm going to read it. It says, and Yeshua entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans. And he was very rich. And he said that he was rich. What now? The question is, what is a publican? He was a tax collector, but he was chief tax collector. So you could say this brother worked for the IRS. How many of us like the IRS? Speaking of IRS, I still didn't even file my taxes yet. I gotta do that this weekend. Or hopefully I have some time. I gotta do that. But he was a publican. And if Zacchaeus was alive today, he would be coming after me. And the people in Israel back then did not like this man. They called him a sinner. He said he was a publican. He was chief of the publicans, and he was rich. We can't bypass this right here. He was rich. This brother was wealthy, right? It says, and he sought to see Yeshua, who he was. He of course he heard about this man's fame. He heard the miracles, so he wanted to see who this man was. And he could not for the press, because he was little of stature, so he was a short dude, right? And it says, and he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. Christ was supposed to pass that way. And it says, and when Yeshua came to the place, he looked up. And he said, yo, man, what you doing up there, man? He said, and he saw him and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must abide at thy house. And he made haste and came down and received him joyfully, right? And when they saw it, they all murmured. It says when they saw it. Who's the they? You know, it's our people. Always talking, always. Why did he do something like that? I can't believe him. Why he did that for? You know, that's our people, right? And when they saw it, they all murmured, saying that he was gone to be guest with a man that is a sinner. So this man, they felt this man was a sinner, a tax collector, chief tax collector, and someone who was very rich. So he probably was a snobby rich dude, probably looking down at people. Was he really? I don't know. We don't know. But let's read the story. And Zacchaeus stood and said unto the Lord, behold, Lord, the half of my goods I give to the poor. And And if I have taken anything from any man by false accusations, I restore him not tenfold, fourfold. Right? And Yeshua said unto him, this day is salvation come to this house, for as much as he also is the son of Abraham. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. So, of course, they was calling him a sinner, but he was lost. Yeah, he was doing things that was probably unlawful according to the law to the people, but he restored and gave half of what he had to the poor. So now, how was that key to the ministry? Who was supposed to help the poor? If you have it, if it's in your power to do it, you must give it. And he came to save those that were lost. So he came, and we see that Christ was sitting with someone who most would think there's no way he could get into the kingdom. And Christ did say it too. He said, hardly. He says not possible, but he said, hardly can the rich enter in. And I guess for the rich to enter in, what he must do, must take his goods and spread it with the kingdom. Spread it with those that he can help. You see that? And that's why Christ said, this day have salvation come to this house. So it's not impossible for the rich to enter into the kingdom. It's your intentions with your riches at the end of the day. Right? So now Christ he goes into a parable. So right after speaking to this rich man and breaking bread with him and having him repent, Christ goes into this parable. And verse 11, it says, and as they heard these things, he added and spake a parable. You see that? Now, I want you guys to listen to this parable of the kingdom. Use it, and mind you, it's one complete story. So he flowed into the example of the rich man and what the rich man was supposed to do, or what he did with his riches, and tying it in to a parable. Look how Christ, he's just dope on how he teaches and how he brings things to life, right? He says, and as they heard these things, he added and spake a parable, because he was nigh to Jerusalem, and because they thought that the kingdom of God should immediately appear. He said, therefore, a certain noble man went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. So this rich or noble man, which we could be say a king, he went to go find a kingdom. So now let's see what he does. So he's trying to find one. So that means if he's trying to find one, that means he must have laws. He got to bring forth laws. He got to bring forth finances. He got to bring forth an army, right? He says, and he called his 10 servants and delivered. He called 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come. So now when you actually go into the word there where it says occupy there in the Greek, right? It says to make yourself busy. So I'm going to leave, but when I leave, I don't want you stagnant. I don't want you just standing around waiting for me to come back. I want you to take the 10 pounds that I've given you, and when you actually go into the Greek, it says to occupy or to make busy by trading. Okay? And it says occupy till I come. Don't just stand here waiting for me. Make yourself useful and bring back something for me. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. So the citizens didn't want to be a part of his kingdom. You could say they probably was comfortable with the kingdom that they already had, or that they were already part of, not knowing that the kingdom that they were already a part of was, planning things against them. I'm just using that as a play of words with what we just seen. All right. Verse 15, it says, and it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded those servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. It says, then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in very little, thou authority over 10 cities. So you see, Christ was showing that he's looking to give people positions on those who know how to, on those who know how to have clarity, control, motivation, and have good organization skills. Right? Christ is looking for those kind of people. Where are we at? That was verse 17. Verse 18. And the second came, saying, Lord, thy pound have gained 5 pounds. And he said likewise to him, be thou also over 5 cities. So because these particular brothers or servants were able to display a form of multiplying, right, or a form of gain, and these are useful pieces for the kingdom, right? And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. So this person said, you know what? I know the kingdom is coming, but let me just hold on to this. Let me hold on to this as much as I can, because I don't know when the kingdom is gonna come. So I might as well let me just hold on to it and save it for a rainy day. Let's see what was told to this fellow. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. That means strict. Thou takest up that thou laidest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. And he saith unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. So because this man, or this particular servant, chose not to work for the kingdom, or to prepare for the kingdom, or to make a plan on how can he preserve this kingdom or help this kingdom grow, he says, he judged them out of his own mouth. He says, thou knewest that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. He said, wherefore then givest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own with usury. He said, yo, you could have found something to do with what I gave you. I mean, if you was that unsure, you could have just put it into the bank, and hopefully it would have gained some interest, and that would have helped the cause. At least you're producing something. You're not coming empty-handed, talking about some, I heard this is where the kingdom is. Can you imagine? We over here building the kingdom. Everybody's putting their hand to the plow, and then you just come out of nowhere like, I heard this is where y'all setting up the kingdom. I'm here. Okay, brother. What do you got? I mean, I'm just here. I just want to be safe, man. While we over here sweating, working hard day and night, trying to make sure our people are safe, have food to eat. You mean to tell me you just bringing yourself? You ain't bringing nothing? This is the mindset that Christ wants us to have. Wherefore then givest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own with usury? And he said unto them that stood by, Take from him the pound, and give it to him that hath 10 pounds. And he said unto them that stood by, I read that already. And they said unto him, Lord, he hath 10 pounds. And he says, For I say unto you, that unto every one which hath shall be given, and from him that hath not, even that he hath shall be taken away from him. So whatever you think that you have, that you're saving up, it's going to be taken from you anyways. Why not bring it forth for the kingdom? Why not help preserve the kingdom? Why not help bring it forth? It's not just you, or me. It's we. So now that's the question. Because they're working together hand in hand to bring forth those predictions for 2030. All right? Where are we? And he says, But those mine enemies which would not that I should reign over them, these are those who don't want to hear nothing about the kingdom, who don't care about nothing. They just want to continue living their lives. They think that they could just get in just by being a good person. These are the people that just want to stay in the clubs. They don't want to give up bad habits. Yes, they don't want to give up bad habits. They want to just indulge in their flesh. These are they. For those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them. How do they wish that they? How do they say Christ's not going to reign over me? Because they don't want to be subject to his rule, his laws, his commandments. Yeah. You're not going to be able to come into this kingdom without following the law, because without a law, there is no kingdom. And that's for the Christians. You got to think about that too. You think Christ is coming and is bringing in the kingdom of heaven, and you're not going to be able to follow no rules in his kingdom? You live here in America, you're following rules. So you think Christ is going to come and not bring you no laws? This is why you have time to practice the laws now, so that way when he comes, it's like second nature almost. All right? So, sorry. He says, But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither, and what? And slay them before me. So, I don't think it was out of place how Christ used that example with Zacchaeus, because everything is a teaching. Like, you got to understand the way Christ operated, the way he moved. He used every opportunity, every situation to teach. I mean, it tells us that all of his works and his miracles, if it was to be written down, a book wouldn't be able to contain them. So there was probably other teaching moments that we know nothing about, but that's pretty much still relevant. But these teaching moments that he showed, he used an example of a rich man who they thought was a sinner, and used that rich man to help the lost, having him convert first, then to benefit the kingdom. And then he goes into the example of what it looks like to build a kingdom. So that's the question. What are we doing? What is our 5-year plan living in Babylon? So we could already X out Babylon as part of our 5-year plan. Like, and I was saying this last week as well too. Some of us would have to you're going to have to put it in your mind. Keep this in your mind. Some of us may not get married. Listen to me clearly. This is how you have to look at this moving forward. Because some of us may have aspirations of wanting to have that big wedding, and You want to invite your family and friends, and you want that nice dress, and you want the big ring. You got to understand that you may not get married. You got to understand that. You have to accept that. Some of us have to understand and accept that there's a possibility that you may not have children. You have to understand that. Some of you and some of us have to understand you may not get that career job that you've been studying for to this day. You may not be able to get it. And I was saying all that to say that we cannot allow our personal goals and our personal endeavors distract us or stand in the place or be as a placeholder for the kingdom. Some people would just be satisfied, achieving their goals, their personal goals that they set for themselves, but not understanding that you chasing that. Where the kingdom? What are you doing for the kingdom? What are you doing for God's people? What are you doing to bring forth? What are you doing to bring forth a kingdom? What are you doing? So some of us have to put it in our minds that whatever goals or whatever fantasies that you may have had in your head that you wanted to fulfill, and there's nothing wrong with having goals or having certain desires that you want, but keep it in your mind that there's a possibility that you may not get those things. But because you don't get those things, it shouldn't interfere, or you shouldn't allow. Okay. Who says you should be getting any type of satisfaction in this life anyways? We're laboring now for the world to come. And as you can see, the elites, they're working hard right now to secure and to keep safe what they've worked for, what they have going on here. We see what they're doing. You see the predictions that they got going on for the year 2030. You see the doomsday bunkers that they got stored for themselves, because there's something that they're trying to protect. Because this is all they got for them. This is all it is. That's what else they got what else they got to look forward to. So the same energy that they're putting right towards this life, we need to put the same energy and have this and move with the same, I would say, fervent zeal or spirit when it comes to preserving our kingdom, our future. Because like I said, 2030 is 6 years from here. A 5-year plan that you could build, start building right now on that. What are you doing to preserve the kingdom? What are you doing? And if you're bringing forth part of the kingdom, what are you doing to preserve that? Are you just sitting around waiting for something to hit the fan and just pray that the Most High just sends a dove with pieces of food in his mouth like he did for Noah? It's not gonna happen. It's not happening. What are you doing to ensure the safety for those that you love? Be it in your household and in this truth, in the church. What are you doing? And what I'm saying, and when we read earlier where it says, let me read that again. Where is it? What verse was it again? Go up to verse. Here it goes. In verse 13, when we read this earlier, right? When it says, and he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, keyword, occupy till I come. Keep in mind, Christ said, occupy, meaning keep yourself busy, right? Keep yourself busy, but what's the focus? The kingdom. The preservation of the kingdom. How are we going to preserve this kingdom? How are we doing that? What are we doing to preserve it? Right? Occupy till I come. Don't just sit there doing nothing. Yeah, continue to still set goals for yourself, because no man knows the hour or the day. But we could dang sure see the signs. We can see the signs. We can see what they're doing and how they're operating, which tells us, okay, we need to be doing something as well too. Right? I'm not telling you don't go get a job. Go get a job. But you working that job, what's on your mind? What can you do to produce for the kingdom? How are you? Don't let these jobs that we have right now, because they're just placeholders for right now, because what else are you going to do? But don't ever let any of these jobs, any position, remove that zeal or fire that you have for serving the Most High. It tells you in the scripture that we don't show the Most High we love him in word, but in what? In deed. That means you have to show. You have to show some type of love. You got to show him what you're doing. And your intentions got to be pure. Your intentions got to be, all right, if you say you're doing this, what is the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing? And sometimes you have to be honest with yourself. Are you doing it for your own selfish gains, greedy gains, or are you really doing what you're doing because you love your people and you really want to help your people and you want to see your people safe? You want to see your people win. Right? Praise the Most High. We got to talk about these things. Hold on real quick. I want to go to the comment section. I don't know if any of you guys have any questions in the comment section. Right, I'll go to the comment section, but I'm gonna play this one more time. I want you guys. I gotta drill this thing home. This is not. Y'all gotta understand how these people are operating, man. They're not playing with us. So that means we can't play with them. Right? We cannot play with these people. We cannot play with our salvation. Sorry. We cannot play with our salvation. Here it is. Look at it. I'm sorry. Where is it? Okay, here. Don't forget this. You will own nothing and you'll be happy. I don't know about y'all, but that does not sit right with me. That don't sit well with me. This don't sit well with me. And I always say this too, just to paint the picture, right? When we look at Egypt, right? When our foremothers and our forefathers was in the land of Egypt, and the Most High sent Moses and Aaron to speak to Pharaoh to let the people go, right? He kept going to Pharaoh, let my people go. What was the reason? For us to go 3 days into the wilderness and to sacrifice and to worship him, right? But every time Moses and Aaron went, he would harden Pharaoh's heart. And every time Pharaoh would say, you know what? Yeah, this is what y'all want. Y'all want to be free? All right. Make their lives much more harder. Matter of fact, don't help them. Taskmasters, don't help them get any straw. Let them go fetch it themselves. And I want the same amount still. And every time every time he would do something, the Most High would send a plague. There was 10 plagues that fell upon Egypt. And when we was all in Egypt too, but we was in a little place called Goshen, right? Before Joseph died, he gave us the best part of the land. So we was dwelling in Goshen, still in Egypt, while the plagues was falling upon the Egyptians, right? So I want you guys to understand that while they were in Egypt and the plagues was taking place, the plagues did not affect the children of Israel. It didn't come near their dwelling. So it's like some people could be afraid and like, dang, this place, Babylon, is falling. Thing, we gotta leave this place. Who's to say we're gonna leave this place? And while the plagues was falling upon the Egyptians, the Most High protected his chosen, those who were sealed. So, and mind you, brothers and sisters, we serve that same God. Like he didn't change. We still serve he's the same God that did the same thing in Egypt. He's the same one that revealed his name to us too. He's still him, and we serve him. So, am I saying that we don't have nothing to worry about as far as securing ourselves? He provides us the information, and he's going to give us the tools that we need to make sure that we're protected. Before he sent the plagues, before he sent the 7 years of famine in Egypt again, under Joseph's rule, he gave the king the Pharaoh the vision, but that gave Joseph the insight on what to do to prepare. And Joseph was like, you know what? Most High said it's going to be 7 years of plenteous, 7 years of famine. So during this plenteous, for every wheat of corn or wheat, this is how much you take away, and you put it aside and you store it. And sure enough, that plan worked. So the Most High gave him the vision and also gave him the out, or gave him the remedy on how to sustain himself through the famine. Same thing the Most High is going to do. Where it says that this is the time of Jacob's trouble, but Jacob shall be saved out of it, or will be saved out of it. How do you think Jacob's going to be saved out of it? You think it's just going to be a hand out of nowhere, just providing us things, just giving us stuff and removing us? Most High is going to give us. He's always dealt like that with our people. He's always given us the understanding and given us the tools that we need to find our way out. Most High not going to do nothing different. But when he intervenes is when our back is against the wall. There's no other option. Then boom, split the waters, walk through. You guys get that? If that makes sense. Only if it makes sense. So, don't feel like your back is against the wall, because it's not, right? And don't be fearful of what's to come, right? We already know, right? Or we understand that what is it, Monday, there's going to be a solar eclipse, right? There's a lot of theories going on right now out there. There's a lot of people throwing things out there, and you know what I hate too, there's people out there making videos and saying they got titles like April 8th, the solar eclipse. This is what God told me to tell you. I don't, please guys, don't click on videos like that. That's clickbait. Like, what is God telling you that I can't read in the scriptures myself? Like, people just always using the opportunity just to try to be seen. But brothers and sisters, just you want to still want to be safe, maneuvering out there and while you're walking around. Don't be in Try to avoid crowds. You see a group of people standing around. Oh my gosh, look, the eclipse. Oh wow. You want to stay far away from that, man. And it's crazy because I've been driving, and on the highway I've been seeing them posts. And this is and they're projecting this for upstate New York. It says solar eclipse event upstate New York, and it says they got a sign that says arrive early, stay late. I keep seeing this sign, and I'm like, yo, what are y'all talking about right now? Arrive early, stay late? Why am I staying late for? I mean, antennas is already up, so just be careful out there. Stay away from crowds. Stay away from crowds. If you don't gotta be outside, I suggest you don't be outside. Not fear mongering, but if you don't have to be out there, you know what I'm saying, you don't gotta be out there. Just try to, like I said, try to avoid crowds and stay safe. Stock up on your vitamins. Also, make sure you have enough food and rations in your home, because there's people out there talking about that. It could be a cyber attack, and like the other day, like what was it? I think it was sometime last month or 2 months ago, where cell service to AT&T and T-Mobile customers was out for like a couple of hours. They were saying that it was some kind of cyber attack. We don't know. So they're planning. Counter plan, brothers and sisters. Counter plan, right? It's definitely very important for you to counter plan and to have a plan. Have a plan for you and your household. Have some type of lines of communication. Just in case if the cell service goes down, you should have your household should be equipped with two-way radios, brothers and sisters. I'm just saying, you should have some type of communication between you and your family, where you could communicate locally, right? Your food should be stored up. Have some extra gas if you need it. Have some cash on hand if you need cash on hand, right? Right. Also, I don't think I mentioned this in the beginning of the broadcast, but we're getting ready for the next Hebrew and Bible Academy. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I didn't do this earlier. Let me go here real quick, and I'll show you guys the new Hebrew and Bible Academy. Whoa. Here it goes. I want to show this on the screen. Oh wow, this changed. I don't have that thing. All right, well, but the new Hebrew and Bible Academy, brothers and sisters, is starting, I believe, April 20. I'm gonna tell you the exact date. Y'all probably know it better than me. April 21st, Sunday, April 21st. The next Hebrew and Bible Academy. You want to visit historytimes.org? Yes, 421. Yes. See, I knew y'all knew it better than I did, right? You could go to historytimes.org and enroll there. You don't want to miss it, man. You really don't want to miss it. And the theme for this one is Jacob's trouble. I knew that one, right? Surviving Jacob's trouble, right? So what I'm gonna do too as well, I'm gonna go to the comment section and read off some of the questions. I was going to open the lines, but I guess I'll save that for another time, right? But once again, I do appreciate you guys coming in, calling, like I said, hitting that like button, comments. Oh, man. Let me see. There's so much going on over here. D Nice says, spread the gospel even at the expense of your own life. To lose your life for Christ's sake is to gain it. Con, I like that. That's a definitely con to the one con, right? Where else we at? Where we at? Oh man, I'm trying to see if there's any comments or questions. And matter of fact, if you do have any comments or questions, now's the time to do so. You could put it in the chat. I'm gonna read it off, and maybe we could go through it like that too. And once again, shalom, everybody who's now in, right? Praise the Most High. I'm happy that you guys came in, and look at that. And for those of you guys who's been keeping track and paying attention, how many weeks we are so far since Passover? Let's see. How many of us know? Let me see. All right, 3 weeks. Yes, we are 3 weeks. Somebody says 4. What's the exact one? 3 or 4? How many weeks? 3? Okay. And how many weeks we got until first fruits? Let's see how many people has really studied. How many weeks we got left until first fruits? Arak Napash says 4 weeks. Okay, Khan, because it's 7 weeks after Passover, then we have first fruits. So yes, you guys are keeping track of time. Let me clap it up for y'all, because y'all are keeping track of time. All praises be to the Most High. All praises, all praises. All right, so I got a question here from Zayas. It says, Shalom Deacon, do you think the remark about people's values being tested is in regards to Christianity as a whole, or do you think it'll narrow down to our beliefs? That's a good question. I do believe that Christianity has something to do with it, but I believe it's where it says the values. I believe it goes into the moral stability of this country. So the moral stability of this country has already been tested. Did y'all see what Mr. Biden did? Hold on. Let me put it up on the screen. Let me get that article. Let me get that for y'all. Okay, so here it is. So it says March 31st. So it says each year on March 31st, the world observes it's not the world. Don't let this fool you. The world observes Transgender Day of Visibility. TDAV. What? To raise awareness about transgender people. And mind you, the world does not stand in solidarity with this. It's just a Western mindset. This is the U.S. It is a day to celebrate the lives and the contributions of trans people. Really? While also drawing attention to poverty. Now, don't try to throw this in there. Discrimination and violence, and we didn't need a day for that. There's violence and discrimination and poverty throughout the city all year round. It says in 2021, U.S. President Joe Biden. I didn't know this was I thought he recently did this. But 2021 U.S. President Joe Biden proclaimed March 31st as Transgender Day of Visibility, stating in part, I call upon all Americans to join in the fight for equality for all trans. And my thing is, like, I didn't even know there was a fight for that. I didn't know there was a fight for equality. No one is stopping y'all from doing what y'all want to do. y'all just want to push it in people's face. That's just basically what's happening. But no one is fighting y'all and telling you you cannot be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do. Just do it over there. Go in the dark over there and do it. Don't put it in my face, in my children's face. That's just how I feel about it. So that's what I do believe. That's what I do believe. They're testing the values of the Western world, is basically testing the moral fabric of the so-called American. And here's an example of how they're doing it. Right? Rick says, how do you balance work and Bible? And how do I help for the kingdom to come or provide? So now, easy. How do you balance work and the Bible? One, you're not going to quit your job. You're still going to work. And two, and during your downtime, all right, when you're at work, you're not working the whole 8 hours. You do have downtime. You have probably a 15-minute break, a 30-minute break, or however long your break is. You can use your break to read scripture, or say a prayer, or watch a lesson from the elders. You could choose to do something spiritual during that time, keeping the Most High on your mind while working. And how do you help for the kingdom to come? So now, who is the kingdom? Where is the kingdom, I should say? The kingdom is in you. The kingdom is in me. What makes up the kingdom? Is it a building, or is the people? The people make up the kingdom. So now the question is, where are the people gathering? That's first and foremost. So you got to find out where the people of the kingdom are gathering, which is, i.e., the people of this church, the Gathering of Christ Church. Link in with your local church, Gathering of Christ Church, right? And help the people in the kingdom, whatever that help could be, whatever it is that you're using, that you possibly use to minister, whether you sing, whether you cook, whether you dance, whatever it is that's going to help edify the people. And when the time comes, whatever you have built up and whatever you have stored up for yourself, is going to be a coming time where it's going to have to be used to help supply each and everybody. So you help the kingdom by being where the kingdom is, if that makes sense. Chosen One says the end of all flesh was, all right, I don't even know what are you talking about? I'm gonna skip past that because I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you about 10 seconds from going to Gigabyte Land. I don't know what that is. Where we at? Let's see what else we got. What else we got? Let me keep going down. Let me see. All right, I got a question here from Crystal. Can you give us a general example of what a 5-year plan would look like? I understand that everyone look different, but can you give somewhat of what it would look like? Well, okay, like we did it over here. Hold on. I don't know if you came in later in the broadcast. Sorry. I don't know why that popped up. But I don't know why. I don't know if you came in later in the broadcast. But in the beginning of the broadcast, I showed this website, and I was reading from this website from Masterclass, how to make a 5-year plan. So you could start here Moderator, one of the moderators, if you can put this link in the chat. Can I do it? No, I can't do it. I got two separate computers. I think I probably could. I'll try to put it in the chat for you so you can look at it later. But it says here, but just go to just type it in Google, masterclass 5-year plan, and this link will pop up. So you could use this as a guide on setting up a 5-year plan for yourself. You want to start with listing your values, considering your career if you are considering one, thinking about your personal life, set your goals, make an action plan, right? You could use this as a somewhat of a guide, right? But yeah, I found this article very informative. So you can use that as a guide. But it goes into someone's personal plan. Everybody's personal plan is different. You can make a 5-year plan looking at, okay, to make it easier, looking at what's happening on the earth and understanding the time. You can make a 5-year plan for what you know is happening on the earth right now, and how can you preserve yourself or work yourself around it. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But you want to try to pattern your 5-year plan based upon survival and conservation. Or preservation, I should say. You want to look to for preservation. If that helps. That was to Crystal. Solomon says, I put my earbuds in and watch and listen to lessons through the day at work. That's exactly another way to do it too. If your job affords you the opportunity to do so. It says, JN the Truth. It says, is it possible that we could invest in a big piece of land that we could build collectively as a whole? I mean, that sounds very great. That sounds very good. But when it comes to that, a whole lot of things gotta be taken in consideration. Who's gonna manage the land? Whose name is it gonna be under? What is gonna be the rules, the regulations? And you can't just be having all random people just say, yeah, you want to come and live in this land? Yeah, come here this land. And now you got a whole bunch of people, strangers that don't really know each other in a land, and nothing is getting done, and a whole bunch of crazy stuff is going in there. So it got to be done properly. But that's, like what's that name of that TV series, The Walking Dead? Eventually, we may have to break down in little small civilizations like that, right? But it got to come, when it's ready, and people got to be ready for that. Arak Napar says, the spirit be absolutely moving. I was discussing the scripture with my wife last night. All praises be to the Most High. See? All praises. See? I knew why. I knew that was the reason why Satan was trying to deter me and make me late. I ain't gonna let that happen no more on a Thursday. Listen, everybody that wanted to talk was trying to talk. Somebody asked, what is this? Tiara. Hopefully I'm saying it right. It says, what if I don't have a local body in my area? That is a great point. What if you don't have a local body in your area? The next question is, what is the closest body to your area? And what area are you from? So you may have to do some traveling if you have to. You may have to travel, because there's a lot of people who don't have the luxury that have a body in their neighborhood or in their town or in their city. But you may have to travel to the next town or to the next city. That may be a possibility for you to stay linked in. and try. And once you have found that body in your, that's in close proximity to your city, you want to stay in contact with the leadership there, so you're not forgotten, right? That's the best advice that I could give you. Let me keep reading. This thing just jumped out of nowhere. All right. What else we got here? Steve Israel also says, what if I don't have transportation to get to the body? He says, what if I don't have transportation and you live at home? Then you are under your parents' responsibility or jurisdiction. But if you are an adult or a young adult, you should have a job right now, unless you're in school. And if you have a job, you have to find a way, or you can make that part of your 5-year goal. Get some transportation, right? Try to find a way to either, if it's feasible to, buy a vehicle. If not, if your city allows it, take public transportation. Or what you can also do is, if you are already linked in with your local body, find out if you guys could work out some type of carpool situation. And when I say work out a carpool situation, and I want to say this too, for people who carpool, understand that person who owns the vehicle, they have to pay for gas. They have to pay for maintenance on the car. They have to leave their house earlier to come and pick you up. So you want to be courteous and you want to be mindful that the person that you're taking a ride from it's a sacrifice that they're doing for you. And one thing about us, sometimes, especially if we want to be humble people, we don't want to say, yo, brother, you got gas money? Or sister, you got, we wouldn't say, we'll just expect, but that's etiquette. You wanna apply proper etiquette to the person who's going out of their way and sacrificing for you to pick you up every week. If that person does pick you up every week, if that person is picking you up and dropping you off every week, you should be donating or contributing to that person's gas. That's the least you can do. A shalom and thank you for the ride is not going to cut it every week. I hate to be frank, but I gotta wait. Who is Frank? But I hate to do that, but it gotta be said. So we have to learn etiquette. Some people, and it's sad. We love our people, but some people don't have an etiquette, and you should be a contribution, not a burden. We gotta do better than that. We are royal people, man. We gotta pay for our way. We gotta pay our way. Nothing is free. So if you don't have transportation to your local body, but if you are already in communication with the brothers and sisters at that body, maybe you guys can develop some type of buddy system or carpooling system and talk about how can we contribute to this. And you want to be paying your way. All right. I'm saying that. Hopefully whoever needs to hear that, hear it. All right. Okay, Breed. Hopefully that answers your question. Look at this. 1 Ak, 2 Malak for Yahweh. Okay, that's a long name. 7 Ahaya 1. I can't say it. All right, I'm just going to call you 7 Ahaya 1. 7 Ahaya 1 says, I have to travel an hour via bus and tram. And you see that? Now this is what you let me clap this up. Now that's what you call dedication. 7 Ahaya 1 says he has to travel an hour via bus and tram just to make it to Shabbat. Dedication. So let's take that into consideration as well too. This thing just jumped. So kudos to you, Ahaya 7-1 or 7 Ahaya 1. Somebody says I just got into Phoenix. Still trying and waiting on a response from the body. Okay, just give them some time. Send them another email as well too. Make it your business. Maybe send an email once a week. All right, to show the urgency. Where we at? Okay, this is person again. All right, hold on. I know what I'm gonna do. Okay. Miss Keeper says, I drive minimum 1 hour on a good day. See, there you go. Yeah, so we're gonna have to learn how to start driving and getting our way around. It says, Shalom Deacon, have you read the Apocalypse of Baruch? Have I read the Apocalypse of Baruch? Have I read it? I'm pretty sure I have. But is there a particular reason you're bringing that up? I guess, okay. It says, Solomon says, it's been a few years since I've been to the Atlanta body, but I'm just going to rent a car for twice in every month. Tired of excuses not going. Exactly. Thank you for admitting that. So it's all excuses, right? So praise the Most High that you came to the realization that you need to be a part of the body. Man, listen, you want to link in. You don't want to be forgotten. Brother Osher says, Osher says, Shalom Deacon, thank you for the shout out. Oh, Asher. Oh, my brother right there. Oh yeah, that's my brother Asher. Yes, sir. I thought it was Asher almost, but it's Asher with an O. My brother. Says thank you for the shout out for the Hebrew flag shirt. Yes, all praises. Yes, all praises. The water for the shirt, man. I love this shirt. Beautiful. Right. Next one we got, it says, Deacon, is it wise to move to an area where I can get to church? I live in Florida, do not drive, and church is 3 hours away, and I live alone. I would say it is using wisdom, moving closer to the body. If you live alone, 3 hours away, you want to, mind you, we're talking about 5-year plans here, and they're trying to do certain things between now and 2030. So you want to put yourself in a position where you're in arm's reach, if not, or a drive away, to somebody who knows you, right? So yes, I would say you are using wisdom, moving closer. But hopefully that doesn't affect your job situation, or however your job situation is. But you will be connected to the body, and that's the goal. So yes. Let's go. What else we got? Wisdom, knowledge. This thing just keeps on jumping. Wisdom, knowledge says, how about if you have a plan and there is always obstacles that prevent you of accomplishing the plan? It doesn't matter if it's a 1 year or 2 year plan. All right. Well, if there's always an obstacle, maybe it's just that you're not focused enough. Maybe you're allowing distractions to come up. because yeah, there's certain things where there's certain times where life happens, and we have to change how we do certain things because of life. It could be a death in the family, the birth of a new life, a child, a new job, relocation. So these things does play a part. But if you're saying that obstacles prevent you, what kind of obstacles? It all depends on the obstacles. And this is why in the same article we was reading earlier, it says they said you want to create short-term goals too, or what's called milestones, where you got a big overall goal, but within that big overall goal, you're tackling it little by little. So you're saying, all right, I want to do this whole thing. Like basically, I want to build this whole house, but the first month I want to focus on building the door frame. And you like, don't look at the bigger picture. Don't look at the finished project of the house. You're looking at that one part of the project, the door frame. Start there. At least start somewhere. Also write down your plans. That also help. Write it down. Write down a structured list of how you want to do it. All right. It says my Northwest over Oklahoma. It says my family does that. We offer a ride to a few people. We have to drive almost 2 hours to fellowship. Praise the Most High. I'll clap it up for you too. Yeah, there's some dedicated people. I mean, I've heard stories where people have to drive, 3 or 4 hours one way and do it going back. And we have people who just won't get on a bus or a train. And then we got diligent people who's doing that faithfully, weekly. And the Most High, and listen, don't think that's being done for nothing. The Most High is taking note of that, and He also taking note of the complainers too. So praise the Most High for you, and keep up the good work. Wise Music says gathering is a work. You have to explain that, because there's many people that gather, and mind you, in a gathering you will find both wheat and tares. So the tares, their work is to create disorder. Would you consider that a part of a gathering? So a work is more than just gathering together. It's easy to come together. Now finding out where do you fit in and what you need to do, putting your hands to the plow. That's where the real work comes from, if that makes more sense. Let's see. Take a couple of more, and then it's Godspeed. Victor Gabriel says, Should I take a demotion at work in order to be off on Sabbaths and be able to congregate? And well, that's something that you're gonna have to, I guess, speak to your family about, whether it's your wife, your children, whatever the case is. Financially, will you be able? You gotta ask yourself these questions. Financially, will you be able to sustain with a demotion? Or speak to your supervisors and see if you can give them a Sabbath exemption, because we do offer that as far as the church. For baptized members, we do have Sabbath exemption forms to give to your employers. So you got to take all of these things in consideration before you make a decision like that. What else? What else we got here? Okay, Wise Music says, I mean, that's the beginning of your works. The rest will come. Khan. Yes. Yes. You see, and this is why it's very important for us to speak in complete sentences, so so things don't get lost in translation. So yes, you are 100% right. Wise Music. Right. So, brothers and sisters, I'm so happy that we had this conversation. I'm so happy. Thank you guys for the questions as well too. Hopefully, I brought some levity and brought some ideas to you guys to help you guys, make better plans. And as we see these days coming, man, we want to make sure we're planning accordingly, because we see what they're doing. They're planning accordingly, and they're expecting us to fall for the bait. Let's not be those ones. Let me get this one right here. Christopher asks, Shalom Deacon, I want to plant much coconut for the body of the church. Well, I doing it, but there's no church or G.O.C.C. here, so I'm doing it for the poor. Okay, praise the Most High. Yes, you can do things to help the poor. Christ also said in Matthew 25, when I was poor, you gave me, when I was hungry, you gave me food. When I was thirsty, you gave me drink. When I was naked, you gave me clothes. And he says, when you have done it to the least of my brethren, you have done it unto me. So yes, keep on doing the work until the Most High brings you closer to where we are with the body as well too. So I like that. Keep doing that, my brother. And where you, I think that's my brother Christopher from Carsal, I believe. But yes, continue to do that. I endorse and I support that. You doing that. But yes, brothers and sisters, I appreciate you guys. Yes, my man Christopher, all praises. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Trust me, the Most High sees your heart. He sees your works, and you will be rewarded for that in due time, my brother. I'm telling you. And but in the meantime, stay linked in with the church. Try to get linked in, right? I know you linked in here. You email me all the time, so let's stay connected, right? But yes, all praises be to the Most High, my brothers and sisters. Like all good things, this good thing must also come to an end. So I appreciate you, brothers and sisters, coming in. Thank you for this broadcast. Thank you for the engagement. Man, it was a blessing.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're now tuned into the Born of Levi experience.
So yes. You brothers and sisters, y'all have a good night. Enjoy tomorrow. Have a great and safe day tomorrow. Right? Remember, we're coming into the Sabbath. Right? You want to make sure you're preparing for the Sabbath. Make sure you have everything that you need, and getting ready for service. And bring your all. Listen, bring your all to service this Saturday. Don't bring half. Bring all. And praise the Most High and exalt him as much as you can. If they singing and praising and worshiping, make sure you singing and praising and worshiping with them. Don't just be standing there and looking at them like you looking for a show. We are the show. We are there to show the Most High how much we love him. So with all that you have, exalt the Most High. And be safe. Stay prayed up. I'm going to play that on the way out. Stay prayed up and sin not. So we could see Zion, man. Right? Stay prayed up, y'all. Shalom.
Praying without ceasing. Mankind hearted freezing.
Let's go.
Lips of the not, said they not take no talk. What them a take forget some loving at them heart. Said they not take no talk. Them not no loving at them heart. Them hear wisdom and frown upon it. Sinking sand, they build them home upon it. Some think on them own the planet. Destruction, them sit down on planet. Love it decrease and evil I go hard, you know. Israelites, Mr. Nova said the Lord, you know. You shine your Christ on your foot, just on your God, you know. Can't do you nothing. When the adversary pressure you, no stress of you. No make the enemy get the best of you. Clean from the mess of you, press of you. Don't forget the message of the letter, yeah. Stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Send them up, eyes them shut. I see the enemy lurking at the cut. Stay prayed up, stay prayed up. Send them up, way up. Fight the battle till your eyes them shut. I see the enemy. No give no energy to negativity. Positive vibration are the key. No make it pull you down like gravity. No make it pull you down like gravity. When obstacles are not the way like a big stone, direct your prayers to the man on the big throne. Give it to the Father